In Taekwondo, we have a lot of techniques. And the techniques could be punches and blocks. But if we look at our techniques as more than just techniques, a punch could be a block could be a punch, or even grappling. A kick could be swiping the leg or getting the opponent off balance. Looking at it from this perspective, we start realizing that the techniques are to be viewed upon as movement principles that are to teach us something. In an analogy, you could say that the individual technique could be looked upon as a letter, like A, B, C. Therefore, you need to, just like when wanting to learn how to read and write, you need to learn the alphabet, so you need to learn all the techniques. But learning the alphabet, A, B, C, D, F, G, is not enough to be able to read and write. To be able to read and write, you need to learn to create words as well. And creating words is when you combine the different techniques in a form, in a Poomsae or in a Taegeuk'er. But learning the individual Poomsae Taegeuk'er, learning the individual word, is not enough either in order to be able to use it in a self-protection situation. Because you cannot always rely on the opponent moving according to what the next move in the Poomsae is. So you need to be able to jump from Poomsae to Poomsae, depending on what happens in this chaotic situation where you're trying to protect yourself against an opponent or resilient. Looking at it from that perspective, that is taking the individual words and being capable of creating sentences. So if we have that perspective, looking at our Poomsae becomes totally different. There's a lot of new ways of looking at it, and there's not just one interpretation, there's many. But in order to be capable of jumping between forms, you need to understand the individual form first. And in order to do that, you need to understand the technique first. In this video, I'll take a look at Taegeuk'er Jang to see how that could be interpreted. It's not the only way, there's many ways of interpreting it, but this is one way. And in this interpretation that I give here, the Taegeuk'er is actually split up in two. So the first half is if the first technique is a success, where the second half is if the first technique against the opponent's attack is a failure. But you can see if it works for you, you try it out in your own training. And we're all different, so we need to adjust our techniques to fit our height and body type and stuff like that. But try to see what you can use, and I wish you all the best in your training. Today, we're going to take a look at Taegeuk'er Jang and how Taegeuk'er Jang could be interpreted. Again, there are many possibilities, many different interpretations, but this is one idea and not the only one. To help me, I have Sabumnim Emma assisting me today. And Taegeuk'er Jang, in my opinion, doesn't start with someone hitting you, but someone pushing me. Not grappling, but pushing in this upcoming confrontation. Right? So here I'll grab her, put my hand on her arm, on her hand, and then I'll move outside of her hitting range, because the next thing will be that she starts hitting me with this one. So I'll do like this, doing the tiger stance to protect my groin. Then I'll kick her to get her out of balance, and from here I can either go in here and do sådan Mongtomagi, or I can change arms here and I can use Mongtomagi as a hit, as a strike. From either standing here or here, next movement are two Sanat Aramagi. The first one is to get over her, under her arm and get into her. The next one is to her neck and getting her down here. So I, again, have control. And my knee goes to her knee to get her out of balance. From here, I have this movement. And that movement is me getting control of her arm here while grabbing her hair, pulling her hair back and twisting my hip, again protecting my groin. Then I need to get in here, so I move in and assist here. From here I have Gabi Magi, one hand going down, the other one going up. So I move around her head, grab her arm, and I move into a up kubi and move one hand down and the other hand up and get her away from the situation. Okay? If the first part here doesn't work, then she'll grab me and she'll grab hold of me. Then I have the second part of the Poomsae. So I break her structure here. I kick her with my knee in her joint. I move in and hit her two lower ribs. I gain control of her arm and move back here. From here, I step in next to her, not on the inside, then my groin is in danger, but out here. I grab her head, but I need her the other way, so I will use my kick to her knee to get her out of balance and falling into my hand. From here, I'll fall her down, and I'll kick her, hit her, sorry. And that was the final movement of Taegeuk'er Jang. So thank you, Emma. Thank you.